Hi, hope you're doing well. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Today, we're actually going to be doing bit of a different video. This was actually going to be a Facebook Live originally, but we decided with some of the changes that Facebook is going through, it might be a little bit better for us to put this on YouTube instead. Have it be maybe a little bit more of a long form video and, give us an opportunity to experiment with some of the format stuff. So, today, I'm happy to be talking more about some important SEO topics that are related to technical SEO, local SEO, and also site schema. In today's video, I'm going to be going in and describing each of these topics in more detail, much less technical detail, and in much easier to understand terms. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, technical SEO. What does it mean? What does it mean for you? And what does it mean for your website? So technical SEO, even though it is pretty techy and can sometimes be hard to follow, in a nutshell, it is about improving your website by adjusting and tinkering with all those back end aspects. It's not about the things on your page, but it's about how those things work. It can include things like your site speed, mobile friendliness, crawlability, and things like your site structure or the kind of URLs you use, or even the security of your website. Now, in order to kind of help explain this in a different way, I'm going to be using the metaphor of a house. So, imagine you have this big, beautiful house. And this house is your website. You've spent countless hours decorating it, trying to put up new content, things like images, branding, blogs, things of that nature. And it's all kind of like the trimmings, the what do you call it? The feng shui, the paint, the furniture, the artwork that you're putting up in there. And it might look beautiful, but if the foundation is cracked and your plumbing is broken and there's something just blocking your front door, it's going to be a little bit harder for folks to actually appreciate what you have to show them. And this is the importance behind technical SEO. It is all about making sure that the behind the scenes aspects of your website are where they need to be to ensure that search engines and other folks searching the web can find, access, and navigate your website. So, let's break this down piece by piece to better explain some of the most important aspects of technical SEO. So picture this. Whenever you walk into a house, you probably expect that the lights are going to turn on pretty easily and the water is actually going to flow from the tap whenever you turn it. But if things like the water pressure are weak, or if the lights just take forever to turn on, well, then you might just leave the house and look for another one altogether. And in many ways, your website can be the same way. If things take too long to load, visitors can get impatient. They might hit the back button and leave your site altogether, and these are things that Google can notice. Slow sites can lead to things like higher bounce rates, lower engagement, and sometimes ultimately lower rankings. And so this is why technical SEO is so important. It helps optimize things like your plumbing and your wiring. It makes sure things like images are compressed, scripts are being efficient, and your website is loading quickly, whether someone's on Wi-Fi or mobile data. So imagine you are inviting all your friends over to your house. But you have a house that has really, really narrow hallways. We're talking so narrow, people can barely squeeze through, and there are even random walls blocking their way. This can kind of be what it feels like to have a website that isn't mobile friendly. People browsing from their phones are doing so more than ever. So if your site's layout is cramped, buttons are being too small, or images aren't resizing properly, it can kind of be like forcing your guests to crawl through tight spaces, just to find your kitchen. So, a good technical SEO strategy is going to ensure that your site has more of an open floor plan, something that is going to be easy to navigate, clean, and inviting on every device. So picture this. Google's bots that go through and crawl your website to better understand what is actually on the website, they're like visitors coming and trying to enter your house. Well, if your front door is locked, or if there's just this big maze of blocked hallways, they're probably not going to bother exploring. And they definitely won't recommend your house to anybody else. And this is crawlability. And it's about making sure that these doors are unlocked and that these hallways are clear and ready for these bots. This can include things like making sure that your robots.txt file isn't accidentally blocking pages, keeping your internal links logical, and having a sitemap to better guide search engines around your website. When Google can easily crawl a website, it can rank your pages faster and help rank you higher. A well-designed house is going to have a clear layout. You're going to have things like bedroom in one wing, kitchen in another maybe. Things is they're all going to make sense. If a house is more like a random maze without any labels, and you have your bedroom in your kitchen that's also next to your toilet, that's inside of a closet, nobody's going to be able to find what they're looking for. And the same actually does apply to your website structure and the URLs within that structure. And technical SEO helps you prioritize your pages. You can organize them more logically in things like grouping services, blog topics into clearer categories, and using clean, readable URLs that actually make sense for the content that they're centered around. It's going to make it a lot easier for both visitors and search engines to better understand how your content is interconnected. So picture a house that has no doors, locks, windows, or maybe some broken windows, but absolutely no security system. Do you trust this house? Yeah, probably not. Well, Google and your visitors can sometimes feel the same way about websites that lack proper security. Using things like HTTPS encryption, that little padlock thing that you see in your browser, it's a core part of technical SEO. This is making sure that visitors' data is being protected and gives you credibility, which can be kind of a ranking factor in Google's algorithm. Without it, it's one of the things where you're not only risking your visitors' safety, you're also telling Google that the site might not be as trustworthy as some others. So imagine you are pulling up to this house, you walk in the front door, and you immediately fall through a trap door going into the basement. Really cool, right? Really what you expected. Yeah, so that's kind of what it can kind of be like whenever folks experience things like broken links, 404 errors, and things like redirect loops on a website. This can break a user's experience and actually kind of signal to Google that the site might not be well maintained because folks expect to be going to one page and end up somewhere completely different. Well, technical SEO focuses on identifying and fixing these errors so that visitors can navigate safely and smoothly without hitting these different digital dead ends. And let's be honest, if somebody falls through the floor at your house, do you really think they're coming back? And so to kind of wrap up our talking about technical SEO in this video, you can spend hours decorating a home, making sure that things are exactly how you want them to be visually for folks to enjoy. But if the foundation, if the technical SEO is weak, people might not be able to find it, stay on it, or potentially trust it. So it's one of those things where it's not as flashy, it's not in your face, but it is still vital and important to make sure that folks can enjoy your home, well, a website, and easily access it, explore it, and enjoy it. So before we do delve into local SEO next, I do want to take a little pit stop and talk about site schema because it does kind of relate to technical SEO. But I think one of the best ways to kind of explain site schema is to put it into another metaphor. So in this case here, let's instead of thinking about a house, think about your website as a massive library. So each page on your website, that is going to be a book on the shelf filled with useful, valuable info for folks. But here is the problem. What if somebody walks into this library and they have no idea what's there before, or what if they're blindfolded? How are they going to know what books are in there and what they're about? This is basically what it's like for search engines like Google or Bing or Yahoo whenever they try to crawl your website without schema markup. They can see everything, but they might not immediately understand what it all means because it takes that extra time to really comb through and get an idea of what everything is about. This is where site schema comes in. You can think of site schema as these index cards in like an old school library. Each of these cards is going to give you information like the book's title, the author, the genre, maybe even the word count. It might get to the most minute detail, or it might just have a summary of what's inside. And you're not going to need to open up every book and skim through it. You can just use these cards, or you can use a site schema to know if it's what you're looking for. Uh, so schema markup is one of those things that is essentially kind of your website's index card. It's going to give search engines the key details about every single page so they don't have to go through and read and interpret every word. Instead, you are handing them that summary up front. Okay, but what does this summary do? How does it help to benefit your website? Well, that comes in the form of improved clarity. By providing this additional information, Schema is able to provide search engines with faster, clearer signals about your content, therefore making Google's job easier and potentially helping you maybe move up in the rankings a little bit. It also helps provide improved visibility by helping you qualify, in some cases, depending on the type of schema you're using, to qualify for rich snippets in Google search results. If not, it might also benefit the knowledge graph or other things like that. And it also helps to kind of give a bit of a competitive edge in that sense. Um, you know, the internet is a very crowded place, so it's a big library in that sense. But you are helping to, you know, accomplish the mission of these search engines in a faster and easier way. And to be completely honest with you, yes, with things like AI being developed, schema isn't as essential as it might have used to be. This is because some AI tools can actually read the content and understand it in more of a context than ever before. But this doesn't mean that schema is left out in the cold. It still plays an important role in your website. Now that we've had a chance to talk about site schema, we're going to finally get into local SEO. So picture this. Imagine that you are a business in this busy, bustling, lively neighborhood. Say you're something like a bakery, a mechanic shop, a bookstore, whatever you want to do. Well, on a local level, you probably want to make sure that the folks in your area are aware of your services and know about you. This way, they can find those services that are available in their area or in their local community. And when folks are thinking about their local communities, you probably want to be the first business they think of when they're looking for services. And well, this is exactly what local SEO helps to improve. It's like having the best, most trusted neighborhood guide, one that can point people to all the hidden gems and other local favorite spots in the area. And optimizing your local SEO can actually be like giving this guide even more useful information about your business. Things like your name, address, phone number, hours of operations, things of that nature. You can think of local SEO as a combination of two powerful things. One being a trusted neighborhood guide or directory. like those old school bulletin boards. And two, word of mouth recommendations, ones that really matter. Let's say you own a bakery or something along those lines in town. Local SEO is going to be what helps to make sure that when people search for things like best pastries near me, your bakery is what shows up first. Not just your name, but things like the hours, address, photos of your products, and reviews from happy customers. And this is getting to why local SEO can be so important for brick and mortar locations. It can help increase your local visibility, help increase your customer trust when they see things like positive reviews and up-to-date information, and also lead to potential higher foot traffic when people finally visit your in-person location. So whenever people search for things like coffee near me or best yoga studio in this city, local SEO is going to be the thing that decides which businesses are going to show up at the top of things like Google Maps. And this is going to depend on how appealing the listing looks. And whenever it comes to improving your local SEO, well, this can be accomplished in a variety of different ways. This might be in the form of being listed on local directories or being listed as a resource in your local community. This might also include being listed on different things like publications, podcasts, and this also involves making sure that your local listings like Google Business Profile are optimized and up to date. So now that we talked about technical SEO, local SEO, and site schema, let's talk a little bit more about how some of our services might be able to actually support these. So first, let's talk about local SEO. With our local SEO service, we provide support for professionals to increase their visibility in their target area. This comes with a local SEO audit and strategy where we analyze your current local presence and create a tailored plan to help improve that local presence. We also do Google Business Profile optimization, making sure that your profile has everything it needs for maximum local exposure. We also do citation management, which helps to build and correct your business citations across local directories. We also provide support with creating localized content, the type of stuff that your ideal clients are going to resonate with on a local level. And finally, we also provide support with things like reviews and reputation management to help manage and boost your online reviews to enhance trust and authority. We also provide support through a technical SEO audit, and this audit ensures that your website's foundation is rock solid. This service includes a comprehensive site audit with an in-depth analysis of your website's technical performance, including things like your crawlability and indexability. This also comes with a site speed optimization where we go in and identify issues that might slow down your website. We also make sure that things like your mobile responsiveness are where they need to be for a fully optimized mobile experience. We also provide support with structured data implementation. That's the site schema that we mentioned earlier. Enhancing your site with schema markup can help with better search engine understandings. And finally, we also do error resolution and other recommendations. This will be a detailed report with actionable insights that can help resolve any technical SEO issues that we encounter. So, to sum up today's video, whether you are looking to make sure that your website is technically sound or looking to improve your visibility on a more local level, technical SEO and local SEO can be invaluable parts of your content and SEO strategy. So, feel free to reach out to our website or directly message us for more details on how these services can be customized for you and your business needs. Thanks for watching.